Woodside, Croydon Central CLP, a voice of the new generation. Croydon did incredibly well in the last election. We got 9 new councillors, and Malcolm Wicks, our MP, actually increased his majority. Conference, this is the last homicide, but it's by no means the least important one. No, in fact, it's quite the opposite. Housing is one of the most significant things that will be discussed at any time at this conference. Providing social housing has 2 main benefits. It makes a huge difference to the lives of many people, and it provides jobs within the construction industry. UCAT made a superb speech earlier in the conference, expanding on the benefits to jobs in our society and in the construction industry. So I'll concentrate on the benefits to the poorer members of our society. This is my first conference, and so my first time speaking on this platform. But when this issue was included in the agenda, there was no doubt in my mind that supporting it was essential. It's quite simple. There is not enough council housing in Britain. And what have the Condems done and announced to fix the problem? Have they announced they're going to build more? No. Have they announced they're going to give the councils more money to build them themselves? No. Have they even asked people in social housing what their concerns are? No. So, what have they done? Conference, they announced they're going to take away people's security. According to the announcement by Cameron on the 3rd of August, they're going to take away people's right for secure tenure. So, what will this mean? It means that many people will not have security to stay in their own home. It will mean that people are terrified they will lose their homes, and it means that people could be chucked out onto the streets with nowhere to go. Conference, we say no. In Croydon, housing is an issue at every level. On a ward level, this means that one of the councillors in one of the most deprived areas in Croydon has said that the vast majority of the casework she gets is on social housing, overcrowding. This is in direct opposition to Cameron's official figures, which suggest that undercrowding is the bigger issue. But, Conference, we do need to establish this isn't just about buildings. There's so much more. The 60s saw housing on a big scale, but they made one big mistake. They forgot about infrastructure. Conference, that's the buzzword. It's about schools, hospitals and transport. Look at Croydon. Under the previous Labour Council, before the Tories took it away from us, we built the amazingly successful tram network, just like we've got here in Manchester. This meant that it connected part of Croydon to the centre in a way that would be impossible before. We need housing, but we also need infrastructure. We can't afford to make mistakes of the past and just build houses with no support. Finally, however, we need to look at the private sector itself. Of course people want their own homes and don't want to rely on social housing. But what we need to give them is somewhere to go. If we want a viable alternative to make the private sector safe, viable and affordable. Picture the following scenario. A couple works hard, rents a small flat privately and has a small child, and suddenly finds that one of them loses their job. They're going to be chucked out of their home. Where will they go? To the private sector? No, because they can no longer afford it. To the council? No, with the waiting list, the child will be 5 before they manage to get somewhere. Buy their own home. Not unless the couple are over 50, the age at which the average person can afford to buy their own home. So where will they go? We need to make the Condems stop targeting the most vulnerable in our society. But how have we got into this position? How has this happened? This is a simple question with a simple answer. For the last 30 years, there simply has not been enough investment in housing. At the end of our government, we finally began to see a change in this. John Healey was phenomenally good. Under his observation and leadership, we began to see a change in the trend. But now now all of his brilliant work is being undone. Conference, we say this is totally, completely and absolutely unacceptable. Conference, I urge you to think how much worse it can get if this is unopposed, but also how much we can improve the situation with positive action on this. That's why we need Ed Miliband in number 10, because the Tories' actions prove that only a Labour government will do something to help the most vulnerable in our society. Conference, please support this concept. Conference, I move.